Welcome back to Lunch with Steel. Look, man, I don't think there's much else to get into. I don't have to explain to y'all what today is about, man. Layoffs, big layoffs, 9,000 people plus let go from Microsoft. And it seems to be just an ongoing thing that the tech industry for sure is going through, right? As we're adapting to AI, trying to figure out what is going to be the best direction to move that forward, man. I mean, I tell you, as somebody who's been trying to get back into the tech industry, right? Get back into my passion, especially on the sales side more than anything, because it's just what I've had experience with, along with some back end stuff. But it's been it's been a lot, bro. Across the board in all industries, it seems like there's been major job loss, man. And but let's just keep it gaming because that's what I like to come to the table with on a week to week basis, and this is what I do. I want to start off by saying to everybody who's been affected by any form of job loss, not only in the tech industry, not only in gaming, I want to say my heart goes out to you. I want to send you love. I want to send you appreciation for all the work that you have done. And I hope that not only do you get a solid severance package, but you also are able to get somewhere where people actually appreciate your time, your efforts, and you can land on your feet and your family can be taken care of, man. Because that's the main thing more than anything. In gaming, you see a lot of situations to where people uproot their entire family for these opportunities to chase those dreams, right? To create these works of art that we love to jump into. And it's hurtful on any aspect, right? Now, again, on the gaming side of things for Microsoft as far as this goes, the impact was more minimal than Microsoft in totality. I believe the number is like, oh, this only affects about 40% of Microsoft. Look, man, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? People were affected. You know what I mean? And that's something that we have to take in consideration and just be human about, right? Whether it's the big corp, whether it's the big corp, or whether it's just the gaming side of it. And me as a consumer, me as a gamer, and me just being a general feeling like I'm a general decent human, man. Like it sucks seeing things play out the way that they have. Now, I mean, again, I want to start off with that. I feel like I may have some hot takes as far as things go, but look, at the end of the day, gaming is a business and it has to be sustained one way or another. I don't know how to speak for it other than that, man. I wish that devs can make whatever game they want, have as much time as they want to make these said games. And the biggest thing for me, as far as the Xbox side of things, is it's another management failure. Again, like especially for people who are actually managing these studios, someone like a Matt Booty, you have to start reevaluating. I'm not going to call for nobody's job, bro. There's enough people losing their jobs out there, but you got to consider and reevaluate. Like, yo, what is really going on? Because I thought it was part of your role to make sure that these projects reach the finish line, or at least have an understanding of what they're going to need to reach that finish line. Hey, and hopefully y'all liking the mic and getting the audio quality a little bit better. But anyway, but yeah, it's just when you have that type of role and it is your job to get these studios popping, to make sure that they have what they need to reach that finish line, and it seems like there's a consistent thing to where that is an issue. Again, whether we're hearing from Perfect Dark, and shout out, it's coming from Kotaku, so you got to take it with a grain of salt for as is, because Kotaku hasn't been the greatest as far as journalism goes. But coming from Kotaku, they wrote an article saying that, hey, everything that we saw from Perfect Dark, as an example, I know that's been a major hit for a lot of people out there, or people that were interested in Perfect Dark. Personally, what we saw from Perfect Dark a couple years ago, I thought it looked solid. You know what I mean? But I've never been a Perfect Dark dude, so it's like, I still need to see what the product actually looks like, gameplay, and have somebody using the controller and getting to it, right? And you can tell some of the differences, right? And now I had high hopes because a lot of the times nowadays, in big 2025, when people demonstrate their game one way, you're typically getting the product as seen, right? It's kind of like with GTA 6, what we seen from GTA 6, the game is probably going to look like that when it releases, right? Because Rockstar has that type of talent. But getting back to this, man, as you can see up top, just a summary of the layoffs. Shout out to Okami13, does excellent work in the gaming community, man. Y'all lock in if y'all want to. Hey, I be getting it on Twitter. I don't really concede to the nonsense and stuff that people be getting into. I just talk what I got to talk and leave it at that. And get back to gaming and enjoying the hobby for what it is, man. So, but Perfect Dark canceled. The initiative closed. This is something I'm gonna get into more detail on Live a Split Screen Saturday morning. If y'all are interested in that, it'll be a lot for me to get into right here. Why I kind of feel like, again, I don't think it was the game that people thought it was going to be, but there are other games that I have felt like that about as well, right? And again, that's just a me thing. I think people sometimes live in their nostalgia. I mean, again, I do too, right? I can say, I'm happy that Armor Core 6 was successful, but I can say, oh man, but I'm living in my nostalgia for Armor Core and wanting it to be successful. It still didn't sell 10, 30, 40 million copies, right? But it did well for FromSoft, man. So it's like even me, I do sometimes live in that nostalgia and say, oh man, it'd be great to have these things. But there also is, for me, the realistic side of it, right? And I just don't think for as many people who might have been excited in the gaming community, where people were really hyped like that for Perfect Dark. Sure, it looked good for what they were presenting, but if that was just more CGI, it was just to kind of give you a vertical slice or a concept of what they were trying to go for. Everwild's canceled. Rare is also hit with layoffs. Everwild, another project where we were shown it a couple years ago. Nobody knows what it is. Now, this is going to be my perspective more than anything. Knowing that gaming is a business and knowing that me as the consumer, I am here to take in my hobby in the best ways possible, right? As a consumer, if these products are not going to come to the table, or if we're not going to get updates on them, we're not going to know what they're going on. It's very hard for me to be somewhat sensitive to some of these things, because it's like I have to put my ducats down at the end of the day. Right? As much as I may want them to make a project, oh, you be as creative as possible. There is a business side to it as well. You have to reach the finish line. That is not maybe you can, and it could be a half-baked product. Nah, you need to reach the finish line. And again, I think that's what it goes back to management for, because it's like, and management should be making sure that you are on point as far as checking in and saying, "Hey, what's going on? What do y'all need? Why are these issues happening?" Let's go back and forth. So it's like, again, knowing that gaming is a business and will always be a business. We as the consumer need an end product. You have to have a deliverable. And if you don't have that, you still don't have nothing to show for, then look what happens. Banjo Kazooie director ends up leaving 35 years, 35 years of being with them. Look, bro, the industry is in a crazy place. I would suggest for people, like, look, I mean, it doesn't look like right now, if I wanted to be a game dev, it wouldn't be something that I'd bet money on. I wouldn't be like, yo, yeah, I'm gonna go do this and I think I'm gonna be successful. Nah, there's a lot of things in limbo, bro. King and ZeniMax hit with layoffs. ZeniMax closes. MMO possible. It's MMO IP, this new one that I was creating. Again, like, seeing the conversation around Elder Scrolls Online, it is still successful for what I know. But I also know I've heard some people from that community also saying that, hey, people from ZeniMax seem to be disconnected from us as well. We're not getting the same support that we used to. I think that's still something that you have to take in consideration as well. Like, there's some internal things going on there. Not saying that project may have not been phenomenal, but obviously the project wasn't far enough, or didn't have a clear goal, or there had to have been something off with it for it not to be pushed further, right? It's one of those things. At the end of the day, you got to blame Microsoft, because it's like, bro, you had these things underneath you, and just the same way that I look at Sony, as far as factions goes, because that's always going to be a dire strait for me. Like, you spent all that time on factions, and nobody asked for it to be this grandiose thing that you tried to make it to be. We just wanted a good multiplayer experience, and that's what the first faction was in Last of Us when it released on the PlayStation 3. And then you translate to PlayStation 4. You had to build up that community, expose more people to it. It's a third person over the shoulder cover based game. It's unique. Well, not technically cover base because you could just dip behind cover and stuff like that. Not really like get on cover. That's what I consider cover base. But Call of Duty and Raven Studios it. For me, Call of Duty needs to be streamlined. I'm tired of this. Oh, we got this Call of Duty and this Call of Duty. Bruh, y'all need to make one Call of Duty that releases every other year, if every third year. Why? Because Call of Duty doesn't need all these games go back to back. It was cool back in the day when it felt like there was some competition internally with the studios. But this year after year, I don't get to keep the product that I'm investing to in your game. I'm not going to be able to carry my cosmetics over. I'm cool, bro. Like this year, I'm good on Call of Duty. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm not trying to play this new Call of Duty. I'm good. I don't care. You can bring Blackout back. You can bring whatever you want to. I'll look forward to Battlefield, right? If anything, if I'm going to look for a first person shooter. So, and again, I'm always going to be I'm always going to be respectful of the people that ended up losing their jobs. It's not good that they lost it, but something has to give, bro. Blizzard hit with layoffs as well. 50% of Xbox user research team laid off, and then again, up to 9,000 employees at Microsoft parent company could be laid off or are laid off at this point. I don't know why I did that, but ladies and gentlemen, sorry for that brief silence. Things popping up trying to record. Like, bruh, what are we doing? I didn't even hit the record button. Anyway, it's a sad time. Condolences to everybody that is in a state of panic. Um, has some things to consider, has some things to think about, trying to support their family. Thought that they were an industry that they could, support themselves in and kind of live out their dream to bring these creative works to life. But it seems like reality is continuously knocking on our door day by day. The things that are happening in the real world across the world seem to continue to impact even the hobbies that we care about, bro. So main thing I can say is keep one eye open, take all things into consideration. And bro, if this is the line that you want to use for Microsoft, sell your box, sell your console. Stop investing in a Microsoft product. If that's how it makes you feel. Again, I'm also one of those people. It's like, hey, stand on what you believe if that's how you feel. So, but with that being said, y'all be easy. Much love. We'll catch you in the next one, man. Peace. Peace out. If I can get at the end. Oh my.